You know, people are always asking me, what are your favorite books and resources to lose weight? And there's so many out there, and everybody's different, and what works for you may not work for your neighbor. You just got to try different things. But my favorite resource of all time is Dr. Mcdougall's Maximum Weight Loss book. You can see how old this book is, and I have a few little tabs there that are my favorite places in the book. But you can also look up Mary's Mini. Mary is his wife and does a lot of the recipes and cooking for the Mcdougall Center out in California, where I will be in just a couple of weeks a guest chef at the Advanced Study Weekend. So if you live in the Santa Rosa, California area and want to check out the Advanced Study Weekend, it's just a great resource to have locally, or even if you want to get on a plane and go there. I actually know people where I live here in Southwest Florida who've done that and absolutely loved it. So the other thing you can check out is Mary's Mini, which is, if you Google that, it will come up with you'll come up with a consolidated program for the Maximum Weight Loss Program, and it's really just a great way to lose weight. That's personally how I did it a number of years ago, and so I would encourage you to check out those resources. Now, a lot of you know that I run, and this is probably my favorite running book of all time by Jeff Galloway, Running Until You're 100, which is totally my goal. And I think running and eating vegan is just magical. But you have to learn, I think everybody does, this balance of what works for you. Running an ultra marathon, which may be as much as 100 miles, may not be the right decision for you if you want to be running until you're 100. Now, it may be possible to do those kinds of extreme, what I would call extreme athletic events, but some of us have to evaluate our bodies and our goals and say, you know, maybe a 5K race, which is only 3 miles, may just be the very best thing for me. And the Jeff Galloway books, now I would encourage you not to read his nutrition information in these books, but he really does a good job, I believe, of getting you off the couch into first walking and then a combination of walking and running. And then eventually, if you want to, running. Now, he claims that actually some people do a faster marathon using the combination run-walk method. And it's really whatever works for you. And there's so many different ways you can motivate yourself to get off the couch. And of course, there is Brendan Brazier's Thrive diet, and you can look at that as a way of fueling your endurance running. For some people who are doing shorter distances, this book and this way of eating, which is very high in eating nuts and seeds, may not be the way to go. So you just have to figure out what works for you and understand that it can be a number of months, even years, of experimenting with different ways of eating, all very healthfully on a vegan diet, but trying to figure out what works best for you. And one of the things that has influenced me are books like this. This is Run Less, Run Faster. A fascinating concept for runners, especially as they become a master's runner, which is above the age of 40, which I am. Yes, I am 60. I always like to mention that just because a vegan diet keeps you looking young and energized. So it's important to understand that sometimes less can be more, especially as we do some of these more rigorous athletic activities as we age. So trying to figure out what works for you becomes the challenge of your life. And one of the things I do as a personal trainer and a running coach is work with you, trying to see if we can identify what the best course of action is for you. Alrighty then, I gotta run.